Hey, man, how are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. Where are you?
I'm in Toronto.
Not doing on tour or what? Are you just living there?
No, I live here.
Cool. How's
I live
life then?
here, and life is wonderful. Really wonderful right now. Feeling really great. Just set up my own studio the last couple of days, and the sun is out today. So I've been creating music and just enjoying my family and friends, and you
Nice.
know,
Creating music.
yeah, man.
Do you find it easier to write at home than on the road?
Mm, definitely. Although sometimes when we're playing bigger shows in the summertime, it's always inspiring to write in that kind of confident zone.
Right. Where do you need to go to write? Can you just write anywhere, like in front of people, or are you self-conscious about that kind of thing?
Sometimes. I mean, like if I write in front of people, usually a whole bunch of things will come to mind. Like I start jumping into different characters and
Hmm.
just kind of catering a little bit.
What are you writing about these days?
These days, I'm writing about good love,
Hmm.
about true love. I'm writing about releasing anxiety and finding truth,
Hmm.
becoming more in tune to truth, and feeling more calm in my body and experiencing the frequency of peace and love. That color.
Sounds very zen. Are you a very zen kind of guy? Do you meditate or yoga or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been meditating more recently, listening and just focusing on the big picture. I look at the sky and look at the birds and watch the birds move and listen to the sounds of the universe.
Nice. How did
Yeah.
well it's very hippie, but I like it. How did Africa change your perspective? I feel like that might have changed things for you.
Well, it just put things in it made me realize that Africa is a very rich place. Africa and the people in Africa are very rich in other ways than what we consider rich.
Hmm.
Culturally and soulfully and intuitively. I got that out of the experience, and I acknowledge and recognize that Africa has contributed so much to this modern world that we live in, and so much to music that we listen to nowadays. And
Have you ever thought about that? About
just
putting like an African choir on, like Paul Simon?
no, I haven't thought about that actually. I have some friends from Africa that live here now, but I'm thinking, it's influenced my music deeply. So I feel like the music that I create comes from a very Africa vibration.
Yeah, well, even a song, we'll go back to Holly, even after tonight, kind of has that interesting kind of rhythm to it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I grew up listening to that kind of music,
Hmm.
R&B music, soul music, and hip hop music.
Right, yeah, and the live show, I saw you, when were you here? In September, I think, was Sweet Thing, or maybe October. Doesn't matter, in the fall at
Oh,
some point. Yeah,
oh
very
yeah.
rhythmic driven show. It crosses a whole bunch of genres.
Hmm.
Back to after tonight, because I mentioned it, and you had mentioned Soul, and I heard Hayden wrote with you. Hayden Neal, other people
Yes.
know him as Jack Soul,
Yeah.
who passed away,
Yeah.
unfortunately, not too long ago.
Yeah.
What was working with him and writing with him like?
Really wonderful. Really easy. Quick. Focused. It was a really light experience, and I learned just from his presence, his confidence, and his strength.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Can you give me a sound clip about that? So, like a storyteller's kind of bit about after tonight?
After tonight, the inspiration of that song came from rambling. I was just rambling. I had left school one night because I was doing rehearsals there, and as soon as I got outside, the moment I went outside, the stars were lit bright, and I just started singing this thing. I know that you never no. And it just stuck. That hook stuck for a long time, and I put it as a bridge to another song that I was working on, and then finally I said I should use this as the chorus for something, the hook. And so I put it in there, and then months later, I met with Hayden Neal through a workshop I was doing, and I sat with him and I played him that song, and he said, "Hey man, how about saying, I know by the end of tonight you'll be looking down upon them from heaven."
Hmm.
And I thought that was really clever and really beautiful. So I used that as the end hook of the song, the end line,
Nice.
and that's kind of how the song came about.
That's cool. Things have changed since Holly, though. I've noticed people know who you are nowadays. You now have a radio hit single. Things. Have you noticed things change, or is it just more from the outside looking in that people see things change?
Maybe for me, I feel like things have become more normal.
How so?
Because I was touring for 4 years, and I was traveling all the time and chasing this thing, you know. And the past few months, I've settled down more so at home. I finally got my first place. I'm living in my own space, not around a whole bunch of people all the time. And I feel more focused than ever. I feel more grounded than ever. And I'm biking on the street, and I'm, living my life here and feeling very grounded.
Does success allow you the feeling to be grounded, though, because you don't need to worry about other things as much?
Well, I still think there's so much for me to do. I have a lot more to accomplish to really fulfill my dream. So I still feel like I'm not resting yet, and I feel like, yes, a lot of work has been done, and I feel great about it. But I also feel a lot of intention for the future.
You don't.
I don't feel rested really yet.
Do you feel like you need to always strive to be better than your brother George? Always have one more hit than him? Are you guys competitive?
Maybe that's what it is, man. Maybe when I was younger, I was kind of like doing that whole thing, and nowadays, that it's still intuitively inside of me, or habitually inside of me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man.
I hear you do very well in France, though. Like, France is the big market for you.
Yeah, France took off about 2 years ago.
Why? Why
We've been
France?
Going back and forth there. I don't know what it is actually there, man. They really dug after tonight, and then it just happened. And they're pretty loyal over there, so.
Nice. When are we going to see you again? When are you doing a big tour again, or are you now in like writing mode for a new disc?
Doing the new disc.
Can we talk about You, I Win, Land and Sea for a little bit though? The last record that just came out about a year ago.
Sure.
Well, why don't you tell me about writing it? Coming up with a title like that, where does that title come from?
Yeah, well, You, I Win, Land and Sea. The line is, harmony is what we need between both you and I, wind, land, and sea. And the way that I look at it is that everything is interconnected. Everything is playing off each other, and everything is evolving together simultaneously all over the world, in space, and everywhere. The vibrations are all around, and although we can't see them, they're very real. So this is kind of the connection. You, I, wind, land, and sea is kind of the connection between all things. Between the trees and the air and the rain and our bodies. It also represents the necessity that we've kind of lost touch with living off the land and living harmoniously with the land, because we live in such a capitalistic kind of mentality. And so we produce food, we kind of created food, made food, and that's kind of the food that we've been eating. And so You, I Win, Land and Sea is my reach out back to the earth and back to the fundamental of where we come from, and living harmoniously with the earth to ultimately find highest potential of health and well-being and good living.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a blues song on the record almost.
Yeah. We listened to Mavis Staples.
Oh, yeah?
That one. Yeah. We kind of wanted to capture that feeling. Bill Bell introduced me to Mavis Staples, and I really, really dug the slide guitar. And Bill's an amazing slide guitar player. So.
Well, I didn't know. Did he produce this record as well, the new one?
Yeah.
Because stylistically, they sound very different. Holly's very bare bones,
Yeah.
stripped down. Sounds like it was done in his house. This one sounds like it's done in a studio.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more approached that way. The first one was kind of just it was spontaneous. We just kind of did it, and this one was a little bit more thought out and mapped out, and then we kind of attacked it that way. And
How do you prefer working? Do you like it spontaneous, or do you like it mapped out and really planned?
I actually, I've been really feeling the spontaneous approach, because there's something that's captured in the air when you're just kind of doing it and not thinking about it. I find there's more. I don't know. There's more natural feel that gets in there. So I hope to do this next album more spontaneous.
Then you can't write anything. You have to go in and freestyle everything like Jay-Z does.
Yeah.
No lyrics. You contrast the blues well with a song like Heartless, which is the big hit single now. Everyone hears it all over the place. Tell me about Heartless.
Heartless.
Yeah.
Heartless comes from, the root of the song comes from my brother Christian, who's my adopted brother. And he came to our room. We started writing music. The first time he sang to me, he was on tour with me. And we grew up together, so we used to sing together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We used to sing Boys to Men together and a lot of R&B songs together growing up. And then when we played guitar, we would, you know, compose songs, and I'd see him every once in a while, and he'd be like, hey, check this out. And I said, check this out. And he was always very talented. I remember the first time he came on the road with me, he sat in the back and he started singing because he wanted me to, you know, give me his opinion. And for some reason, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't help myself from laughing. I was laughing and laughing. I think just because he was so vulnerable and singing his heart out. So anyways, he walked into my room with this song, with the root of it, and I'd been working on the next album at this point, and I said, yo, man, I really love this song. You know, there was something very special in it. And I asked him if I could put it on my album, and he said yes. And the song, it feels obvious to me that he's writing this song for his mother, and you know, sending his love out to his mother. And so I took that perspective on the song, and wrote some more things with the song, and then put it on the album. But it's a song that me and him share, and I'm really happy that I share a song with my brother.
Yeah, that's cool. Must have been, and people can go check it out on your website. There's a video of you playing it in Africa for about 10 minutes with a bunch of kids who start singing at the end.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah.
That must have been something else.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's beautiful.
Before I let you go, we do something on the show called 5 Questions. 5 quick questions, 1-word answers.
Yep.
Road or studio?
Oh, studio for now, but the road long term.
Lennon or McCartney?
Lennon.
Most important thing in a song, lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Oh, I'd say rhythm.
Song you've written you're most proud of? Doesn't need to be one word.
Oh.
What's that?
Heartless.
Cool. And in one word, Justin Nozuka.
One word. Word.
Nice. That's good. I like that.
That's the one, man. That's a word.